What's up, y'all? Good morning, everybody. We halfway through the week. It's hump day. This morning I wanted to get on here and remember to do my morning inspiration for you guys. Today, I wasn't really led to talk about anything in particular. I just wanted to get on here and be, transparent and give y'all, the real and the raw that we promised to give y'all with this podcast. Things are really hard for me right now. I struggle every day with trying to decide if I'm gonna keep going or not. Like at this point, I'm to a point where I feel like what has it all been worth it for? Like it's and I'm not on here, trying to get sympathy or ignore, the things that I've done wrong or the decisions that I've made in my life because, they play a part in why stuff unfolds the way it does. But at the same time, it's just like, what has it all been for? Like I mentioned to you guys, I have 2 degrees right now I can't even use for personal reasons that I'll get into later on. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, what has it all been for? I went to school for 4 years, 2 years each. I have an AA in criminal justice and a BA in forensic psychology. I was even not halfway through, but probably a quarter through of my master's program. I was doing my master's in social work until I came to the realization that it was a waste of time and I most definitely didn't want to do anything with social work, especially since all the stuff that I went through myself with them. I don't wish that on nobody. And, there's times where I see stuff um, that I felt like that somebody should say something, but I would never, ever wish this on my worst enemy to have to deal with CPS because once you get in there, it's hard to get up out of there. And it's sad to say, but that is an institution that is ran by money and bodies. And they don't really care like what it does to your family, what it does to your children. They don't care about the stability, the emotional damage that it brings on them. I get it. CPS is a need for certain people. And I explain this to my kids often. Like, there's kids out there that's being abused, that's being locked in closets, that's being beaten, that's being not fed, and that's being, just mistreated. And that's why I'm always telling them that they gotta be grateful for the things that they have and the things that I'm able to do for them. Because, especially on my own, like I was mentioning, I went to school both times. I worked a full-time job and I had 5 kids at during the first degree, and then I had 6 during the second. And I never let nothing deter me. Nothing ever suffered. On my days off, I spent them with my kids. I went from work to school, from school to work. Like that's how my life was, and I worked hard, thinking that I was doing something to set us up for a successful future, so we can live better. And I realized this whole school thing is just it's like a vicious cycle. You go to school basically just to have the recognition and the degrees behind your name because even doctors and stuff, like you go to school all them years to spend hella years paying that stuff back. And it's just crazy. Like I be sitting here looking like, damn, I went to school and I still owe them like $50,000 for, you know what I'm saying? How can you expect to start or build a successful future when they already setting you behind? And I just wanted to get on here and try to, pep myself up this morning because I'm feeling down. Like, I'm feeling real down. Me and my sister started this podcast and we keeping on, but there's days when I'm hella discouraged. Like, I feel like I opened a clothing business a couple years ago. That didn't do well at all. I'm still sitting on clothing merchandise right now. I'm always trying to figure out a way that I can start something to, you know what I'm saying, multiply my income and be in a better position. Stuff is just not working out. So even now with the podcast, I'm getting hella discouraged. Like I feel like, why aren't people wanting to listen to our real stories? Like, but then they want to get on here and listen to, you know, stuff that's meaningless, stuff that don't matter. And it speaks to the state of our society. Like it speaks to our culture, not even our own people willing to support us. And that's the sad part. Like, I heard something from TD Jakes like this morning that he said, you're not always gonna be motivated. You're not always gonna feel good. You're not always gonna be in the spirit to do it. But it's the discipline. It's mind over everything, and you gotta stay uh disciplined in order to see the bigger picture. I'm always telling my sister, like, don't worry, like, you know what I'm saying? People gonna eventually see what this is about, and we gonna get the recognition that we need. And it's not that I'm really in it for the recognition. People keep telling me that I have such a story to tell, and that's why I wanted to start this podcast, because they keep saying, oh, you're gonna be a blessing to everybody, you're gonna help other people. People hear your story, they're not gonna believe it. And that's why I wanted to start the podcast, because I wanted to help people. I want people to learn from my mistakes and see that it's okay to tell people how it is. Too many times on social media we see the glitz and the glamour. We don't know what people really going through behind that. And that's just for a few moments out their life. You don't know what they doing. Some of them people jump off social media and they crying in the bathroom, drinking all day. I just wanted to get on here and just be a little transparent with you guys and just let you know, like, hey, I'm struggling too. Even with my faith, I gotta make sure I pray before I go into work right now, because I don't prioritize it, because I have so many other things that I feel are higher on the list right now, especially when you're not used to having faith, you're not used to following God, and you're not used to going to church. It's hard to prioritize that when you feel like you in quicksand right now. So I just wanted to, share my story and hopefully, inspire or motivate those who may be discouraged and wanting to give up to keep going. Because if I tell you everything that I'm going through right now and living through right now, I know that's going to give somebody a reason to want to keep going. So you guys have a wonderful day. Do your best to stay less stressed and more blessed as you deal with all the trials and tribulations of being a parent out here in these streets.